So let's take a look again at footwork. Fundamentally, the most important factor for both offense and defense. And in speaking on defense, let's speak about art versus fighting. Toughness matters in fighting, okay? So the ability to take a punch in MMA and stuff because of what's happening. Because our paradigm is lethal engagements where tools are being used that human beings are not tough enough to deal with. That's our paradigm. So at every level, everything we do, we keep that in mind because you don't want to train for something where toughness matters and I can take a punch and then get out there with edge weapons or high-speed projectiles. Now you've got a countering, a system of solving problems that entails your ability to be tough and take things. Well, that's not the case in the big world. Not just that, but it could be the case that you're 150 pounds and you're fighting somebody who weighs 220 pounds and your ability to punch them hard enough, the ones you practice in the gym and maybe hurt people your size, maybe not come into play anymore, okay? There's a fight tomorrow night between two huge guys, right? Wilder and Fury. Well, size makes a huge difference when you're exchanging force like this, kicking, punching, etc. It makes a big difference in wrestling and everything as well, depending upon skill levels. So our fundamental paradigm is we are not tough. We're not going to be there. Art is the ability to apply force to your enemy without having them apply force back to you. We use the term martial arts for lots of things that aren't art in that sense of the term. They may be technically fairly, competent. There's a lot of practice and everything in them, okay? But the ability to take punishment is also one of those things. Doesn't work like that. You military guys know exactly what I'm talking about, okay? So, our ability to move. Movement is life. My dojo in Encinitas was directly across the street from the mortuary. I mean, like 30 meters, door to door. So the dojo of life was on my side of the street. It was the dojo of movement, and the dojo of not life is on the other side of the street. Those of you who have some experience, one of the first things you can tell when a person's, dead is absolutely no movement, okay? And it just draws your eye. You know right away that person's done. Okay? So, movement, life, not life. To stay alive, move. Well, how are we going to move? We move with our feet. Okay? So, my first video that I did, I talked about foot movement, etc. So, foot movement does virtually everything. It's your primary defense. It manages the relationship with your opponent, and depending upon the tools that they have, right now we're talking about arms and legs and elbows and headbutts and knees, okay? It lets you manage that distance and that relationship. Can they reach you? Can't they reach you? If they can reach you, can they reach you in the timing you're there or not? You're managing those factors all the time, and you do that with movement. Once you set down and quit moving and start to do this, you've changed the game significantly, okay? So we talked about how far apart your feet are, okay? We talked about keeping them underneath you. If you remember the first Rocky movie, they were tying shoelace, old school way of keeping somebody from getting big, wide, hard to move, reaching. Okay? Keep your feet underneath you. Okay? Look at some of the real old-time greats, Sugar Ray Robinson. Look at some of the guys now, like Mayweather or Omaha, Terrence. Okay? Look at how they keep constantly moving their feet and managing it. Look at Lomachenko. Okay, look at people like that because they're really superior boxers in the process of all of this, okay? And you watch how good their footwork is and how much of a difference it makes, even in a sport environment like that, okay? So, fundamental things for movement. If I'm going to move to the right, I move with my back foot, my right foot first, okay? And then my left foot follows. If you move one foot, move both feet. If I'm going to move to the left then, left foot, right foot. Really simple. If I move right foot first, then left foot follows. My left foot first, right foot follows. Okay? So that's your basic footwork, right and left. moving forwards and backwards unless it's actually an attack. If I'm going to move forward, I bring my back foot, then my front foot. If I move backwards, I bring my front foot, back foot. Okay? So what tends to happen with a lot of people is they'll move the front foot without moving the back foot, and now, say I step in and jab, okay? Well, what happens is the jab's long, and if I hit the guy, I'm going to move him a little bit. Now I'm trying to reach with my back hand, okay, without moving my foot, and he's too far away. He either moved because he slipped, he moved because I hit him, he's too far away, okay? The other thing that tends to happen is if I reach out like this, really putting weight here, makes it easy for somebody to sweep me, kick my leg, takedown, especially if he slips my jab, especially if I'm jabbing high like this. It makes it really easy for a wrestler to slide underneath that as you're doing it and take that leg. The same if I back up like that. If I back up this way, I'm leaving my leg here. I'm behind between somewhere and somewhere else. I'm kind of like split. Okay? So again, sweeps, leg kicks, takedowns. So if I'm going to back up, I bring this foot first. If I move forward, I bring my back foot and my front foot. Okay? And just get really comfortable at doing these types of things. You can make little patterns at first. How do I move my feet? Constant foot movement. Okay? If I'm attacking, it's a little bit different. If I'm jabbing, then I reach with this front foot, but I bring the back foot with me. Okay? I bring the back foot with me so that I'm right where I need to be if I'm going to follow up. If I'm reaching, lunging, you listen to the commentators, talk about guys reaching with their punch and bending over. Well, this is a problem in boxing. It's a way bigger problem when people can punch, kick, and take you down, and knee, those types of things. As you start to reach like this and bend over, you're not only wide open, but you've planted weight on your front foot. It takes time to move that weight off, and people can take advantage of that. So, really work on your footwork, okay? Really work on your footwork. Moving in, moving back, stepping right, stepping left. Same thing, southpaw, right? If I'm moving right, step right. If I'm moving left, okay, left foot. Moving forward, same thing. So it works the same both ways. And you want to get really used to following this stuff. Using your feet to manage distance. It's your offense and your defense from your feet first. Allows you to slip, slide, get away from people, and it brings you into the gaps that they leave for you to attack. Footwork, footwork, footwork.